everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. Welcome to episode 146 of We the GamerCast. It comes to you on iTunes, Google Play, and mother-loving YouTube every single Monday. This is a very special Monday. We'll get into it why in just a second. Thank you for subscribing. Thumbs up on the video. Just a big old thumbs up on the video. For leaving comments and everything. Thank you for sharing everything, guys. I really appreciate it. I feel like the show is back. I don't know, it felt like maybe a little dip, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm a little critical, but I feel like there's a lot of energy back. I feel like today's conversation is a good example of what is representative of this show, where we can go, pushing the boundaries of where we can go. When I talked to Bobby, and just yesterday, I talked to Katie Birdo, another conversation, it's just kind of like stretching just a little bit. So that's great, I kind of like going back and forth of the pure nerdy chats, always good for the soul. And these are other different types of conversations that are also good for the soul. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, guys. I want to give a thank you to the people who make this possible at patreon.com/makeusbetter, especially our platinum executive producers, Corey Hicks at twitch.tv/chicks_18, and Mr. Moody himself, the glorious one, Mark Moody, at youtube.com/Mr. Moody Reviews. Our gold executive producers, Sheldon, Benedict, and Tony Baker from Quest for Pixels, and gentlemen executive producers and gentlelady executive producers, Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong. Jesse, again, hair on point. You know whose hair isn't on point is James Johnson, fresh haircut, Dr. Doom, Joel Brooks, Nick Milicia from freaking Next Level Games, and our newest patron comes in. No, I'm sorry, not a new patron, but our newest executive producer, Tim Aulph. Thank you, Tim. You've been with us for a while. Ups his pledge. Holy crap. We just had our best month ever, and it's all thanks to you guys. We are keeping it moving, and we're pushing forward. I promise you. Thank you guys for trusting us and being with us and being engaged in the Discord. That's what it's all about, is everybody's kind of got this one place to come together. So thank you so much. If you're new, usually, here's the deal. I have sweet hangs with a stranger from the internet. We talk about video games. That's probably not really going to happen. I'm talking to somebody who I know very, very well. Talking to Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo guru, coming out of his hole. I think he's back to life now. I think we can maybe, at least for a little while, stop saying that he's dead, because he's very much alive, and this is a very, very good chat. I can't wait to share with you guys. I feel like Tammy was on. It's still in my notes. She was on last week. That wasn't last week. It was Jesse Sacken last week. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it was great. Jesse's going to be on If You're at Nintendo tonight, and a couple other shout outs. I've been busy this weekend, guys. Holy crap. On Friday night, I recorded a E3 predictions episode for mostly Nintendo. I think was there a couple things thrown in at the end? Yeah, we did that. Friday night, questforpixels.com. Thank you, with the number 4. And they've got a Discord over there too. We'll be sharing that episode when that goes live. I believe today, same day as this goes up. And also, on this feed, you've already noticed that there are 2 We the GamerCast episodes that are going up today. The second, obviously this is the first, the second is a crossover, a special like Simpsons and Critic. Flintstones and the Jetsons? Is that one of the originals? Anyways, classic Hanna-Barbera crossover with the guys from Game Moose. I think it starts really great and it becomes a bit of a shit show, but enjoy. It's more of a preview episode, because the official, not that that's not official, I feel like I'm putting my foot in my mouth. It's a great episode. You guys should definitely check it out. But more E3 stuff coming on this feed right here on May 14th. It all starts next Monday. We're going to do our Sony predictions for PlayStation with Fiona McKinnon, Nikki Powell, and Kaylee Woomer. All lady cast except for this guy. Going on Monday, and on May 16th, it's going to be Xbox with Luke Lore, Mitch Power, and Dave Moore, my co-host on the Xbox Drive. May 18th, Bobby's coming back again. I'm podcasting so much with Bobby. May 18th is, that's a Friday, Bobby and Jules Watcham for some Nintendo predictions, and then finishing it all off on the following Monday, May 21st, third-party predictions for EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, everybody else, Devolver, or whoever else we want to come up with freaking Marissa Roberto and Steve Tilley from Reviews on the Run. Are you guys kidding me? This is going to be an absolutely slamming week. Obviously, I'm excited about the new baby. Some of you have already reached out and said congratulations, thank you. But seriously, guys, E3 Predictions Week is banging. It's going to be incredible. New baby, hooray, but holy crap. So, with that said, as Joseph would say, with that said, that's going to be sort of like a couple things all wrapped up into one. Usually we have recurring guests every month. I hope that's okay. I'm kind of just doing that sort of instead, although like they all are returning guests, so it all kind of works. But just a crap ton of content. And then in June, of course, we're all going to get back together and do some scoring. So I think Bobby and I talk about that at the end of this episode. I can't remember where I stopped recording, but we had definitely talked about it. But that is a killer conversation that we're about to get to. There's not really too much more to get through today, other than just to get into it. So Bobby, you all know him, the Nintendo Guru, back from the dead. You can follow him at Nintendo Gurus. What am I? Normally I have something else to say. So let's get into it. Here he is, Bobby Pauls.
I would actually, this is sick, I'd wake up at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because all the sharks are out on the island. And they're the money fish.
4 in the morning.
Yeah. They basically, they're there from 5 to 6. But they don't really start biting right off Jump Street. So you want to like get out there a little early to make sure that you can make some, you can make some money out there with the sharks.
What? Okay, so I thought like Animal Crossing was like divided up into like obviously days, but I thought it was like morning and night and that was it. But it's like hourly? Like how?
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's 24 hours a day, man. It's, if you log
like 8 to 9, 9 to 10.
Yes.
10 to 11, there's something different.
Dude, everything's different. There's different fish, different bugs out at different hours of the day. So
has it always been like that?
Oh yeah, man.
Like
always.
The GameCube days and everything, like.
Yeah, man. Yeah, every hour's a different thing, man. Every hour's a different thing. And then in the wintertime, there's different stuff you can catch than in the summertime. And then the spring, different than the fall.
Did they do it on Pocket Camp? Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I didn't
I
really dive into Pocket Camp too much. I like good games, so that's part of the thing. No, the thing of it too is like if it's raining, you can catch different fish than if it's not raining. And it's like, dude, they really, honest to goodness, man, it's like what's legit in the real world is what's legit in that game. So like certain fish will come to the surface when it's raining, and then certain fish will just ghost out, and then the times of the year is all legit and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Man.
I can't wait for more Animal Crossing.
I want it for Switch in a bad way.
How are you? Looks like you're getting looks like got a little. You're making yourself a home over there. You got your little setup. You got a little background.
Well, only because you're calling in. Otherwise, it'd be like nothing up there. It's the best I can do. I got to dress it up a little bit.
But isn't it like nice to just have it like looking like your own, even if we weren't recording?
Yeah. No, it's cool because I do leave the stuff there, and it's like it's kind of morphing into my own. My mom, I don't think likes it. She's like, "All right, you bastard, get out of here."
Yeah,
but,
right.
No, she's trying to get me to move down the street, dude.
Yeah, is that gonna happen?
Yeah. I don't know, man. The drive to work is what kills me, man.
Oh, really? Are you far now? Like you're further now?
Well, remember when I worked at the flower place, and it was like a 30 to 40 minute drive every day?
Flower place. That was so perfect for you.
No, it was not. Man.
I know, but not the job itself, but the fact that you worked at a flower ship. Because even the way you described it was always tough to like. What do you do?
Yeah. People think I made flowers. I was like, no. I'm the shipping manager for a large floral company. But it's like, dude, it's like reverse now. It's funny because I quit that job to work closer to home, and then debacle happens, and now I'm further away from. Now I like swap places pretty much.
Were you seeing your mom a lot before?
Not much. Not much. Far? Like, well, because I mean, dude, pretty much everything kind of when I was doing the Nintendo Guru stuff, I was pretty much in a zone. So unless people really came to me, I really didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. That was my life. That was it. Like, well, because we podcasted all weekend long. Like Saturday mornings were Toby, Sunday mornings were with you, Sunday nights became with Jules, and it was like I just didn't have any time
and
whatsoever.
Editing all in between too.
Yeah, and editing. Like I would get done Saturday, right, and then I would start the editing process. But I would also do Nintendo Talk Live, where I would stream games Saturday night. So it was like everything revolved around the podcasting and the YouTubing and all that stuff. So
I've never asked you about your editing process. Like you just kept pumping stuff out, and I was like, well, obviously he's figured out a way to do this quickly, but I don't know like how you actually did it.
I did get it down to a process. What happened was when I originally started recording, I was using this big Canon Rebel.
Yep.
I don't even know the actual numbers for it, but it records in HD. Tony bought it for when she was YouTubing. And when she got me into YouTubing, what happened was we were both using these garbage. We're using a GoPro at first. It was trash. And then I was like, there's got to be something better than this. And she started researching, and she come up and she was like, Bobby, we found this camera that's really good. She found an amazing deal, dude. It was cheap. Listen, this is the craziness. We were looking at the camera at Best Buy, and it was like $800, $900. She got it on Amazon for $700. Came with a tripod, another lens, all these like memory cards, carrying case, all this stuff for $700.
Yeah.
So I was like, get it,
done,
do it. I mean, done deal. So we got the camera, and then what happened was I was doing the videos, and it just was a process of like you record,
dump the card,
and then you got to pull the card, you got to dump the card, and then you got to upload, you got to import into the iMac, and then it just. But then when I got the webcam, and you remember when I was doing the podcast? I can't remember the name of the show. The hosts.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
With Antonio.
Rip.
And after a couple of episodes of doing that, I messaged him. I'm like, Antonio, the webcam you have is like impeccable. Yeah. At the time, my webcam was better than yours and Toby's because I was using the one on the Mac, and I was like,
Antonio's was nice, man. Antonio, right from the beginning, like his microphone sounded crisp. His picture was great.
What he does for a living, so he knows all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I went to him and I'm like, dude, what are you using? He gave me the name of the webcam. There's a Logitech 922 and all that. And I think he was using a 920, and I went to the 922 because it had just come out and it was a little bit better. Which now they have a new one that shoots in 4K.
Yeah, but that thing is a monster. Have you seen that thing? It is huge.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the same size.
I don't know about that.
I was at Best Buy yesterday holding it in my hands. It's a little bit big.
Get it? Did you get it?
No, because it's not great. It doesn't do a great job at 4K.
Yeah.
It's the beginning stage. Right? Yeah. Yes, I'll probably wait until the second or third iteration before I jump on it.
Plus your file size, like even going to 1080p over the 720, like your file size just went up huge.
Oh yeah.
And everything takes longer from there. So jump into 4K.
Yeah. So and what happened to me was, so I got that webcam, and then it became fluid.
Yeah.
It was like boom, boom, boom. So I would come home from work, and that's when I started doing Nintendo. That's what gave me the idea to do Nintendo Talk on a daily basis, because I was like, I got this webcam, and I could just sit in front of it and just click and go, and boom, and everything was just unwinding and doing. And I was like, this is just compact, quick, precise, and I need to push forward with this idea and this concept.
But even like the recording, even you talking, like that's good. So you're talking in front of the camera, but then you'd always like splice in like B-roll and everything like that.
But that didn't take that long because I am weird in the fact of like 24/7 I'm thinking about this stuff. I'm constantly thinking about
what it takes.
It does. It really does. You know what I mean? And it's like, while some people think that it's just a matter of like, oh, we just get in front of the camera and we just go. I'm constantly thinking all the time of like compiling stories throughout the day. So like if I'm on a lunch break or I'm a 10-15 minute break and I'm scanning through my Twitter feed and I see news stories that I want, I'm screenshotting them for later. And then as I screenshot, I'm going like, okay, so there's a new Splatoon story. I'm going to want to grab some Splatoon footage off of Nintendo's website. So, but I have files already set up where once I download it once, I need to keep that because I might pull it back up later on. And so I was doing stuff like that. And they only have
like 5 games, right, on Nintendo? So that's fine. You only need a couple files.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But the hard part was always trying, and it was always a learning process of who would copyright strike you. Like Bethesda copyright strikes, Capcom. Yeah, man. Bethesda, Capcom. And then the other thing, too, was the ripping program I used. A lot of YouTube videos are like, or trailers, even trailers alone, are mature rated. So then you have to try to like, it wasn't let me grab it because it's like a fake, it's not a fake account, but it's not your account logged in that's ripping. So it's like, well, you're just a regular person pulling this footage. So you got to log in under an adult account, and it's like, oh, you're killing me. So it's always tough. So you're always Yeah, and it's
you,
not.
I feel like you told me about Clip Converter, wasn't it called? No, Clip Grab.
Yes,
Clip Grab.
Yeah.
That's
Clip Grab,
that's the one everybody needs to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy because the funniest was, so I want to do an announcement video of Zeo Drifter being brought to the Switch. Jules tells me ahead of time it's coming. I'm like, what day? And he tells me. I'm like, okay. So I'll wait for your announcement, and I'm going to follow that night with Nintendo Talk and pump it up. So I pull the trailer from Nintendo's YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
And they
but
copy
it's his footage.
It's all his footage.
Yeah.
He submitted it and gave Nintendo the trailer. And he was like, oh, by the way, I didn't even record this on a Wii U. This was recorded on a PC. This is PC
funny.
gameplay footage that I put up. And I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So they never gave me. And that's the thing. Like when you do go back on a copyright claim, Nintendo just doesn't respond. They don't.
Doesn't even matter. It's there forever. Yeah. Yeah,
it's like whatever. And I want to get into that because people are notorious for going like, oh, well, you just want to make money off it. That's such a small thing. Like, I don't make money on YouTube. I never did. I mean, okay, let me back it up. Let me
like real money.
I make money. Yeah, I make $5 a month if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Well, you better be clear about that then.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's only a really small, minute amount of money that I'm making when I do make money. So it doesn't matter if it gets claimed or not. The problem with copyright claims, or when it puts it in a weird place in YouTube's eyes, and it takes time for them to then start recommending it and things like that. And not so much the copyright claims, but when you get that yellow strike, that yellow strike pulls it right out of all of the algorithms that push. And a lot of times all your views come within the first 10, 15 minutes to an hour. And when at the end of the day, when that stuff's not, and that's what gets pushed to trending and all that, is when you get a lot of views. Well, if them views don't count, then when it finally registers, you're only getting 5, 6 views. It will never push it into the recommended and all that. And that's, for someone that's small trying to get out there, that's what you need. You need that little bump from YouTube. Because trust me, I've seen videos that get bumps from YouTube, and I see videos that don't. And it's night and day, man.
Yeah.
That's a difference between a 20,000 view video and a 200 view video. And I've been at both ends of the spectrum. I've had we've had conversations where it's like, dude, where is this thing sitting at? That all these people are watching it. This is insane. So for me, that's a big ordeal.
I can't wait for you to come back, and I think we'll maybe get to it. Do you want to get into where wait a minute, before we get into that, I want to actually just point something out. This little break that you're taking.
Yes.
Pretty coincidental, Bobby, with the whole not really much going on with Nintendo Switch these days, and oh, Bobby, I guess you're just gonna take a little break.
Put a call into Reggie, and I was like, I'm gonna be out of commission for a little bit.
You guys just take it easy.
Let's hold on for a little bit. When I come back, then we can ramp it back up. I do have some news I do want to talk about real quick.
Okay, well, I want to quickly, because we were just talking about your daily videos. I want to give a shout out to Mark Carabin, because he's kept it up, man. Yeah. And he's just every single day, even just for a minute. Honestly, that almost feels like that would be tougher in my mind.
It is hard because you gotta compact it to a minute. That's incredibly hard to do.
Yeah,
incredibly hard to do.
Crazy.
It's hard to keep it. I try to keep my videos between 5 and 10 minutes, and that's even hard at times. That's so staggeringly hard. So
yeah, man. Anyway, I just wanted to link those two together. There's a lot of people who are putting out a lot of content, and I wanted to kind of touch base with you from your perspective, what that was like. And I know you're going to be back doing it pretty soon, but I just have a lot of respect, man. I don't know, for me, there's always something. There's always something that is sticking me up and just kind of slowing down my process, and something that should take me 20 minutes, taking me an hour and a half. And it's so I have a lot of respect for the people and admiration for people who have figured out how to get over that kind of stuff and just push it out. And it takes that 24/7.
I didn't really figure it out now, did I?
Well, I think you figured. I mean, that side. You figured out that side of it.
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't figure out the time management of everything else.
It's a pressure that we put on ourselves, that that not necessarily that anybody says anything from the community, but we want to be able to continue to be there for them. And so, yeah, gosh, I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyways, you
Well,
got a point.
before we jump into some tangents and stuff, and because that's where we're going to wind up going. But
you notice when you're not thinking about it 24/7. Like if you are pulled aside, like just for a couple days, and then you like go back to it, you're like,
it's hard to get back into it.
This isn't the same. Like something's missing. I haven't put everything I've got into this.
And what really upset me, I don't even know if it's a word. What really upset me was when I did step away and I made that decision, because I felt like I was putting out the best content at that time. I felt like I was finally in a rhythm where I was just the embarrassment factor was gone. I wasn't embarrassed of anything, especially when the community started making GIFs of everything and making it fun, because then it was like, I'm going to do stupid stuff because these guys love it and they're doing stuff with it and they're making it more fun. Yeah. So that was the hard part for me stepping away the way I did. Also, moving into my mom's didn't help the fact either. But real quick before I jump off and we start talking, so I have a major announcement for me. I feel I am doing Extra Life this year.
Oh snap!
November 3rd, November 4th. I am actually teaming up with the Phoenix Overdrive crew.
No way! That is amazing.
Yes, I am going to Rochester. It's not even Rochester. I think it's Utica or something like that. I'm going up there. So here's the deal. So every year they do these raffles.
Yep.
And I think it's amazing. They give away a console typically for people that donate whatever.
It's like
buy
$2 an entry. You get,
this is $3 an entry this year.
Okay.
And you win a Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
So me. I'm like, this is nice, Brett. Or this is nice, Lee. I like what you're doing here, but this isn't enough.
Oh, snap.
I'm getting involved. If I'm coming up and I'm doing this, we're doing this big time. Okay. So I am now adding to that Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I have a feeling.
The person that wins will also win Breath of the Wild.
Oh, no.
Will also win Odyssey. Will also win a carrying case. And then maybe a Pro Controller. I haven't decided what exactly else I'm going to add to it. But I told Lee, once I get it all together, we'll get it bundled and we'll get it going.
You have an extra Pro Controller coming to you.
True.
As long as you get everything figured out with Jules, I'm holding it ransom.
I'm going to see Jules. I got the game here in this box.
Yep.
Right? So I'm going to see Jules at E3, so I'm going to have Jules sign it.
For people who aren't in on this,
oh my God, this is horrible.
A little bit of a backstory. So I had ordered when Super Mutant Muds and Super Mutant Muds Super Challenge went on limited run. I went and bought a PS Vita version of Super Challenge. But the shipping to Canada was outrageous. Like, it was like double the cost of the game itself. So I'm like, Bobby, can I just have this shipped to you and we'll figure something out at some point? And he's like, yeah, man, totally. And then in between that, I had asked, hey, Jules, if I had something like, I should have just shipped it to him.
You should have just shipped it to him.
But it was all afterwards. It was all backwards. So I asked him, like, hey, man, if I got this thing, would you mind signing it for me? And he's like, of course. So long story short, Bobby has it now. Hasn't shipped it to Jules.
I've had it for months.
Like, what? Somebody has to look up when this went on limited run. It was like last
6-7 months ago, dude. It was long. Was it probably close to a year now? Probably like 9 months.
I had Lincoln.
I don't think you did. I think she was pregnant with Link at the time. It's just the way it feels anyway. But yeah, so I have it. And so the idea was during your stream you did, I won that. I won the Splatoon 2 Pro Controller.
And legitimately won. Like, this is absolutely like Excel spreadsheet, random number, everything. Yeah.
And you were like, well, I'm not going to send it to you until you send me my game.
I was actually kind of happy that it was you. Because I knew that I didn't have any rush to send it to you.
Yeah, you're like, I'll just
anybody
whatever.
else, I would have been like, oh man, I better get this out right away. And
So that's the gameplay. The gameplay is to
get your friend Ojo to pack in something.
I thought about actually doing that. So that's what I'm trying to work on a few things. I would love to. I'll see them at E3 and I might drop that in their ear and just be like, hey. But I also want to reach out to like Image and Forum, get some download codes from them. I know Jules will give me something.
Nobody likes Image and Forum, Bobby. Nobody knows who they are. Everybody, people who like them.
It's funny you said that, and then they turned out to be this juggernaut of an indie team.
Of course they did. Oh, what do I say? I don't say too many like mean things that often, but like every now and then I do. It's just like
talk trash on the Switch. You talk trash on Image and Forum, and look what happened. It just took them. Can you say some bad things about Nintendo now, please? So this way they can just
the
really
narrative,
take off.
The narrative this week is everybody's paying $60 for a Wii U game.
I'll tell you what.
And then also that graphic keeps getting better and better, where people are looking at the lineup of the Wii U, going like, man, these games are no good. Why would anybody buy this? And then the Switch, same games down there, like, wow, they really figured it out now. This is incredible.
Yeah, dude, that game is...
You're playing it yesterday.
I was playing it yesterday. I've been playing it this morning, too. I love it.
I want to fire up my Wii U and actually just play it. I think I'm going to do that.
Controllers, right? So I bought these wired controllers.
They're good, right?
Amazing, dude.
I told you. See... That was you talking smack about them.
And here's the thing. With those controllers, playing a game like Tropical Freeze is actually much better because the lag is 0.
Right.
So you're just basically... in that game, you need to be very precise.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me on that. So it's really...
I think they're worth it. What are they, like $20? They're worth it just for that 9-foot USB-C cord that comes with them.
Yeah, $24. I bought the Splatoon one this morning, which is up over here.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
And yesterday I bought the Zelda one, the Black Zelda one.
Zelda's slick, man.
And you can actually change the sticks on it. It comes with 2
sticks.
Yes.
I knew you could change the face plates on the Mario Luigi one that I've got.
That's not made by Power A.
Oh, are these different? Okay, so I'm looking at this is PDP.
Yes.
PDP made these ones that I like.
Yes.
Oh,
and
see, look at that. Comes with
I have.
Oh, this one.
These are made by Power A. So this is the one I'm talking about in particular. So this one here, as you see up in the corner, you have extra sticks you can put on.
Oh, that's nice, man.
And then I'm looking like there's the sticks. So it's dude, it's gorgeous. It's a really nice.
That is a collectible. So for anybody who is new to Bobby and I don't know how that's even possible. I feel like everybody's been around forever. This is basically like what we would do before if we were at Nintendo. We'd be like, hey, man, this is the last thing that I bought.
You
never
saw this, did you?
I never what?
You never saw this one, did you?
I saw it.
I mean, you saw pictures of it, but I don't think I ever showed you.
The buttons are so perfect. Like the red is just like, it looks
pops
somehow more than brand new. Like, I don't know how that's possible.
I love it. But I retired it. Now that I got these because I'm literally sitting like maybe 5 feet from the Switch, so it's no big deal. And what I thought of was when I stream, it's better. You're the one that told me that. Mm-hmm. You're the one that said it to me. Like, hey man, you're right. And listen, when you're streaming online, I need that little extra edge that I can get on these little bastards that like to.
Did you do Splatoon? Did you play Splatfest? Or we played a little bit.
Yeah,
but then what happened?
Little bit. That's all I did.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. It's never good at the end of the night. Never good at the end of the night. Because you get a lot of disconnect. Yeah. At the very end, like it feels like the last 2 hours of a Splatfest, there's a lot of disconnects. Like I played earlier in the day.
Coming into the day, is that what's happening? And we're getting getting destroyed and everything. It was no good, man.
Well, that's a problem. See, okay. So with the way we were doing it, the way you need to do it is you need to get a 4-man team and you need to stick together for 7 matches. Then after 7 matches, you really get your power score. Your power ranking is legit because now it's an average of what it is, and now you're going to be more properly matched up when you play. So the first 7 matches, you're probably going to get squashed because they're throwing you against anybody. Mm-hmm. And I was playing not that long ago with probably a couple months ago. I was playing with Jason Lacey and Rybo and Mew Mew. And
Mew Mew.
Yeah, Mew Mew. And dude, the crazy thing was we're sitting there talking, and it was like, we're getting smashed because of the fact of like the minute a team came in against us, we knew we were getting beat because you could tell when they all have the squad names.
Tag, yeah.
It's like we're done. It's over. Like we're just gonna get smoked. But Eric Plunk was also playing with us that night too, as well. And it should have
been okay then.
Trust me, even Eric was because the problem is those guys play hours upon hours together. They're a finely tuned unit, and we're just ragtag. We're like a beer softball team going up against the New York Yankees. Like it's not going to happen, you know. But whatever.
Bobby, I have so much to talk to you about today, man. I want to talk about Splatoon. I want to talk like what's coming up with Splatoon. I want to talk about Smash, and like we gotta almost start thinking about our plans for Smash. And like even in this moment, I've just convinced myself I think I have to buy that day one. And I wasn't like that before I was talking to you. That's just the effect you have on people, Bobby.
Well, I will buy it day one, but I'm not going to play competitively.
But what about like online? Like I want to know like how like because there's something I gotta tell you.
That's what I consider competitive. I'm not gonna play people.
But I mean, like with the community.
I might go in there and get my ass kicked all the time. That's fine. I'm just a smash stick guy. I just keep hitting the smash stick.
Yeah.
Like that's my move. So these guys will just tear me apart. Like what I want to do is I want to get like 8 people in a match online.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody against Jason Lacey. Because my understanding is like he's a beast at Smash.
Of course.
So I would love to like just do that. Like do a competition like 7 versus Lacey. And just go at it, and he should actually steal that and do that. Like make a YouTube series called 7 vs Lacey.
That's really good.
Yeah, and just do it.
I want to make my own levels.
That sucks. I'm not doing that nonsense.
I'd be good. Or like, what about like Worms? You remember Worms? You just hit the randomizer button and it would just like come with a new terrain for you. That'd be good times.
But Smash to me is more trophy hunting. I love the trophy hunt in Smash because I like to read the history of the characters and where they came from and like all their backstory and stuff. Like they do an amazing job with that. Like that is impeccable how they do that. So that's what gets me excited with the return to Smash.
And when you get it, they're gonna send you a amiibo in the mail of that trophy.
God, I hope.
Just wait, everybody. Clear your shelves.
I'm afraid. That's what I'm afraid of. You know, I'm afraid of it because I made it through the first.
I know.
Storm.
And everybody's lying to themselves saying that they're not going to do it again, and they're going to be spectacular.
They'll all right be back in it.
There's just a couple like new ones that you haven't had before, and that's how it all starts. You're like, I just got to get that one. And you're like, ooh, that new Mario's pretty good, even though I've got 6 other Marios up on the shelf. It's got a new wedding suit, Bobby.
And you get that Breath of the Wild one. That's going to be. Like, it's just gonna start.
Which is so stupid because I have already a full set of like Breath of the Wild stuff just somewhere up here, anyways.
It's to the point that like, just do what PlayStation did and just put them out. They don't need to be connected to games. Just put them out.
No, they should. They should be. That's why Animal Crossing didn't work. But anyways, if we were
that's true. That's true. Yeah. That's another. Seems like a long time ago we did that.
Like last week.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And you and Jesse Sacken swapped. Last week was We the GamerCast with Jesse Sacken, and then you were if we're on Nintendo, and it's the opposite this week. Jesse Sacken's tonight.
There you go.
Tonight?
Very nice.
How does that work? I'm time traveling.
That's your schedule. I have no idea.
No, I'm just not sure how it works with like we're recording today, but people are hearing this tomorrow. So then that day, then it's tonight, then whatever. Yeah. When are you coming back, Bobby? When are you coming back to us? What's the plan?
So the plan is when I get my own place, and at this point. I'm not sure. I had a couple of offers that I can't really discuss, but I'm kicking them around. No. Getting a house offer. So I can't really go into too much detail, but so it's one of two things. If I can make the dots connect, it could be within right after E3.
Yeah.
If I can't make the dots connect, then we're probably looking closer to August, September.
Yeah.
Which I would like to make the dots connect if I can.
Obviously.
So I'm going to work on that.
September does feel like a long time from now, but like we're into May now.
Yeah. It'll fly by.
June is going to be like so fast, man, and then July, August, it's always summertime's always flying by.
I just feel like what scares me is I feel like I'm going to be left behind. And what I mean by that, just forgotten. That when it's time to come back, people are just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I remember you from before," and just not tune back in.
I could see that, but for you somehow it just doesn't. That's not real. Like I could see like for a lot of people they step away and it's like because we've seen it happen. We've seen people take breaks and things happen and life happens and they come back and it's like I don't know if they regained and refound that audience and the friendship, but I think that actually that's the difference is that. It's different for you is that you are like it's friendship first and content second, and that's why people come. The connections I made are bigger than the content in my mind. I agree.
And I think I was talking to you last week after the show, and I was saying to you like I liken my situation to Steimer's. Christine Steimer, for those that don't know, she dated Greg Miller for a very long time, and she was living with Greg Miller for a very long time, and then they split up, and she disappeared. She just blipped off the map. Obviously, he was big with Kind of Funny, and he didn't have that luxury of just blipping off the map. He had a business to run. He had to keep pushing forward. But then she just showed up out of nowhere and started doing videos again, and then gets into what's good games, gets into that with them girls, and then boom, now she's off and running now. So I feel kind of like that. Like I needed to take care of business first. I did what I had to do, I feel. And now I'm just moving forward and seeing what the future holds. And to me, it's the future is big and bright. And I feel like I will come back bigger and better than I was before. Like I didn't realize I needed the time away to not only recharge my batteries, but to focus what I wanted out of everything, and to sit down and plot course everything. Like a lot of what we were doing with Make Us Better and what I was doing was just flying by the seat of my pants.
Right.
Basically just going like, hey guys, what do you think about this? And then like throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks and what doesn't, and you know, the whole shakeup, you know, bringing Joseph in and you leading If We Ran Nintendo and us ending Nintendo PlayStation and starting the Geek Gurus, or the Gaming Gurus, doing all that stuff was, to me, for me, missteps, but also for me, a learning experience. I learned from that to not make knee-jerk reactions just based upon fear of what's going to happen.
I don't know if those were knee-jerk reactions. I actually think that we thought, especially those shakeups, I think were pretty well thought out. I think that, you know, adding to Make Us Better is obviously something that we've carried on. And then it just sort of like, a lot of it was uncertainty on my part too, of when would I be available for stuff, and like Lincoln is now a part of the picture and everything, and December sucked ass for me, like big time, and even like leading into January, like I wasn't myself at all, and I'm to be honest with you, like I'm worried. I talk about this at therapy. I'm worried about December again. Like it's almost like this thing that like is coming, and I'm like, it's like bracing for impact, even if nothing's wrong is gonna happen. Especially the new kid on the way, like it's kind of like,
congratulations! I knew this before.
Yeah.
But I didn't say nothing.
You were in the inside circle.
Yeah, but I wanted to officially say it out loud. Like I think I'm the first one to actually say it to your face, because nobody else has podcast with you since you announced it, right?
Yeah. No. I've had a couple shows already. Friday, Saturday. People, sorry, man. Yeah. Tony Baker beat you to it.
Piece of garbage.
And Andrew Semichek just he's like, you got a sequel. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's, oh yeah, baby. Like that's just where I'm at. I'm just like, what the hell's happening?
But yeah, it was funny because you guys brought me in. You brought me in to do the announcement video for the whole commercial bit that we did in the car. You brought me in to do that, and you were like, we got something to tell you. And I was like, what are you, pregnant again? Yeah. And Chelsea was like it wasn't supposed to be said, but I just said it. And you were just like, she's like, yeah. I was
You're
like,
lucky she was, because that could have been really insulting to her.
No. Because that's kind of how you guys did it before. You just brought me in and you're like, we got something to tell you. And I was like, So it felt kind of the same. Because here's the thing. When you want to talk to me, Chelsea isn't just always there.
That's true. And
Chelsea just happened to be there. I was like, okay, Sean just called me. And Chelsea said, something's up. Something's going on. But Link wasn't there. And I was like,
I wasn't planning on that. Like, she said, does he know? And I was like, well, I guess like now you kind of have to tell him, like you can't say something like that and not say anything. So here we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're very, very excited. Like, and cool. We think it's a girl. So probably I was gonna. I don't know if we're really like public about the names and stuff. Oh, we have a girl name ready. Ellie will be the girl name. And, so we'll have Smelly Ellie and Stinky Linky.
I thought you go with Linkle.
Well, that's what I realized when we say Link will do something. Like, I'm saying that like Link will like drink his water. I don't like Link. Yeah. Damn it! That's awful. Stupid Link.
It's awful. Anyway,
enough about me.
Yeah. So for me, it's a process of just figuring out when I can get back and all that. I'm hoping the sooner rather than the later. But even if like, let's just say hypothetically, like I could come back now. I think I would rather, regardless, wait till after E3 before I came back.
Well, and I do want to go back. I do want to go back to January in just a second. But one thing you kind of touched on, which is you're recharging your batteries, and and here's Chelsea right now. Oh hi, and she's leaving, and Lincoln is asleep. So that works out well for us. That's Bobby good. Knew. Oh, she's waving hi. Everybody should watch the video and say hi to Chelsea. Hi, Bobby. Why are you whispering?
Chelsea.
The baby's sleeping.
Oh, the baby. Well, I'm talking normal.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Bobby. Love you.
See ya. Love you.
She blows nice kisses for you.
Let's just
Okay, so and actually I'm thinking about this even for me as well, and maybe everybody who's making content, find a way to do this. Maybe not take 6 months off or whatever, but find it, like, and especially this show, very easy for me to do. I should put like 4 in the can. Those are my December shows, and December I take off.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. And I think that people will understand that this is like, it's so not only for us to keep our sanity, but it's actually better for the content.
Yeah.
To recharge our batteries.
I think
we have to make it okay too. I think nobody talks about this. Everybody's trying to go like 130 miles an hour.
I think the main thing you need to do is you need to first look yourself in the mirror and say what's important in your life. And are you truly doing this for the fun of it, or are you truly doing this as a future? And that's where it boils down to. Because everybody is quick to say, like, oh, I'm doing it because I love it. Well, if you do it because you love it, then don't put the other things you love on the back burner for it. If you're doing it because, if you're doing it because it's a passion and it's something you want to become a future, then, and it's a dream of yours, then go for it. And as bad as it might sound, is you might not want people to hold you back, but you need to also be open and honest with those around you and say, like, look, this is my game plan. This is where I'm going. I need you with me. We're going to take this ride together. Are you with me? And if they're not really with you, then it's not going to truly happen. Mm-hmm. But I think that there's some confusion within my mind at times of why I'm in the predicament that I'm in. And a lot of it doesn't have to do with all the time I committed. It does, but it doesn't. And what I mean by that is, so there's a lot of people that don't know where Tony and I kind of fell apart. And it wasn't a month ago, 2 months ago, January. It was a long time before that. Yeah. So about, man, it's like almost 7 years ago now it happened. Tony was pregnant and she miscarried. And when she miscarried, it really did a number on me. And I feel like the guy normally is supposed to just be strong and ignore what went down and just be like, we're going to push forward. And that's the way I tried to do it. But psychologically, it destroyed me. And I didn't realize it was destroying me. And it wasn't until all of this that I actually sat down and started to face my feelings and realized that there was some resentment towards my wife. I to this day, I still love her to death, and nothing will ever change that. But what happened was I was at work and I got the phone call that she lost a baby. And I literally just fell apart right in my office. I remember going across the office, the production floor. It was a Wednesday. Nobody was working, just the office staff. And I went up to my boss, the owner of the company, because my boss was off that day. And I went up to the owner, and I walked in. I said, I got to talk to you for a minute. And he's like, what? And at that point, I had not even said it out loud. And I said to him, my wife lost her baby. And I just fell apart. And he jumped up and ran across the desk or around the desk, just grabbed me. And he was like, go home. Do what you need to do. Go home. So I left there, and I said to myself, when I finish up my work, I probably got about 30 minutes worth of work left, and then I'll leave. I don't want to leave you guys in the lurch. He's like, I don't care. Just do what you got to do. So I went back to my office, finished up my work, left. So bad that like I went down to the girls in the office because they do my paperwork, and I was like, I wrote down on a note because I couldn't say it again. I gotta leave. My wife lost a baby. Could you please do the paperwork? And when I handed it to the woman, her name's Lisa, she just looked at me and she was like, just, oh my God, like, no problem, go. Mm-hmm. I remember going to Tony's mom's house because that's where Tony was. And let me just back this up a little bit. From 20-ish, 18, 20 years old, I wanted a kid. I am a third. Okay, Robert Stephen Paul's the third. Growing up, it was always instilled in me, not purposefully, but just psychologically, like, you'll be the name bearer. You'll carry on the Robert Stephen Paul's name. So it was always something I wanted growing up. And so I remember going to Tony's house, her mom's house, and I went in and she was just laying in bed and she was kind of like a wreck, and I lost it or whatever. And then she said she was going to stay at her mom's house for the night, and then she'd be back home the next day. And I left and went home, and I felt alone, and I went to an empty house and just started to, it was the worst thing that could have happened for me, and I didn't realize it. I realize it now. I didn't realize it then. And because I started to self-destruct and just was mad, was crying, obviously, doing the whole, why God, why are you doing this to me, that type of stuff. And so what happened was, for me, I needed outlets. And to me, I needed to keep up the strong front, like nothing was bothering me, because that's the way I was raised. That's just the time period I came from, where men are supposed to be strong, you're supposed to carry on, and nothing's supposed to bother you. So I was always putting up this fake front in front of my wife, you know, I'm good. In front of my family, I'm good. But inside, I was devastated. Mainly because I felt like that was probably a one shot at having a child.
That's what I was going to ask you. Why did you?
Because the pregnancy was very hard on Tony.
Right.
She struggles with anxiety, and that pregnancy was very difficult. And for me, in my mind, I was like, I'll never put her through that again.
Right.
But in her mind, she wanted to go again. And I just was like, no. And I just made every single excuse of why we can't, and this, that, and the other. And fast forward to you and Toby having children, it started to bring feelings back out, and resentment and stuff. And, like, you know, it ate at me. So back then, Tony and I, you know, and she said this to me because I did tell her this, and she was like, do you not think that I was suffering too? And I was like, no, I didn't. And it's just because at that moment I thought it was, my mind was like, I'm in this bubble. And it, you know, like, it just hurt so bad that I wasn't even able to see anybody else's anguish or pain. And so what I did was I started playing games all the time, online games, and started just confiding in people that I shouldn't have confided in, and getting personal relationships with online people, in particular a woman that I was becoming close to and telling things to and saying things to, and then it turned into, and I don't really know her motives, I just can go by what I think and what I feel, and what I feel is that she wanted more from the relationship than I was willing to give. At that time, I just felt like we're friends, we're there for each other, we comfort each other, we have a connection, but that's it.
But all through the veil of this stupid online thing, like,
yeah.
How could it be anything actual, real?
Yes, and but to the point where, because she was married as well, and I was married, and she actually one time had said to me, like, I'm leaving him, and in the assumption that her and I were going to get together. And I was like, you need to go back. Like, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That is not an option in my world. So not long after I ended things and just kind of was like, it's over. We're done. And she tracked my wife down and supplied her with all this information of things to prove that, like, we were close and all that stuff. And Tony obviously was pissed, and rightfully so. I don't blame her. I would have been pissed as well. You know what I mean? So, but through all that, and this is the one thing that I had said to Tony was like, you can go back and look at all the messages she's showing you and all that stuff. I never once ever told a woman I loved her or any of that. It was never said. You know, you and I am in love with you and all. So at that time, we started to reconcile. She forgave me, and things I felt were good. And then fast forward a little bit, and when I say fast forward a little bit, I'm talking years.
Yeah.
I start doing the YouTube stuff, and I start diving back in. And so, you know, like when I was doing the other stuff, I was kind of ignoring Tony and just focused on that stuff. And the YouTube stuff, I think, started to bring that back out again. Like, she sees me putting so much time and effort into it and kind of neglecting the marriage. On top of that, the person came back and was accusing me of doing things that I wasn't doing. And Tony just got fed up with it. And she just was like, it's done. It's over. You know, I'm out. And that was in January when that happened. And I contacted you that night. And
I'll never forget it, man. I'll never forget it. Like, I was bathing Link, and I was just about to get him to dry, and then, like, I got a call from you, and I was like, this never happens. Like, it's always so as close as we are and as often as we talk like this is bizarre. And I'm like, I don't know what, I just knew. I don't know how else to describe it. I just knew I needed to pick up this phone. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. Like, you need to take it from here. And that never happened. Yeah. Like, we are so routine like that. I'm like, and came down here, and then we chatted, and it was,
we chatted for like an hour or two. It was,
I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to be there for you in that moment.
And that night was me telling you exactly the story I just told you now. Yep. Like, I've never hid the fact of what I did in the past, whatever, because I didn't feel like that's something that's a burden that I wear. And I'm not proud of it at all. Like, I feel like I really dropped the ball with all of it. But at the end of the day, I did feel like, and that's where it all started coming around, because I was like trying to fix the marriage the best that I could. So I felt like, well, I need to eliminate the things that are pulling me from my marriage. I need to focus on my marriage. And I looked at the YouTube and the podcasting as these are things that are pulling me away from my marriage. I need to be willing to give her all of me. Through all of this, mind you, she's telling me, don't give up the YouTube and the podcasting and all that, because she really truly feels this is something you could become, and this is something you could take off with and stick with it and don't give up and keep going. And I was just like, no, that's not what in my mind, I'm going, no, that's not what we need. We need to stick together and stay together. And then a few months go by, and I moved out. I moved into my mom's.
By the way, even during those few months, you're busting your ass. And I don't want to, like, I'll just say this just from the conversations that we had, and I've sort of alluded to this a couple times before. But, like, you and I talk about Nintendo every week. We talk about nonsense and the toys or whatever, and then all of a sudden this comes out, and it's real life, and we're there, we're talking to each other. And the one thing that, like, kept not surprising me, but, like, it was just notable was that you were dedicated, like something I've never seen before. You're like, I am fixing this, whatever it takes. And not only dedicated, but also like a level of maturity that I don't know why I wasn't expecting. Like, of course you're like a grown man, you're mature, but like this, like you looked at it like, because I think that the Nintendo guru is like a caricature of like fanboyism. And so you kind of like, you're saying image and form every fucking 5 minutes, and I just can't stand it. And then all of a sudden, this 360-degree look at your marriage and how to fix it. I was just like, I took a look at myself in the mirror as well, and just that's how it's done. Whatever happens from here, if shit hits the fan, you are dedicated to your family, and I want you to know that, like, even if it's a negative outcome or a negative experience, that the strength and the positive out of it is that those around you and the story that you share, it impacts people more than you ever know, man. People are taking notes and they are learning from you, and
the whole aspect of
I'm
talking
pausing
about
on
this.
too dark of a story to talk about, but there are, like, I feel like I'm grateful for everybody who has experiences and does things for it, like in life and death situations. I'm like, okay, that's an extreme that I don't want to get to, and if it does, then like your dedication, the way that you were dealt a tough hand, like you weren't exactly like open communication the entire time, so you were working with what you had. And I admire you for that. I can't really get too much more into it. I don't want to.
And for me, the reason why I'm saying all this is because I want people to understand that, you know, we make mistakes as humans. We do stupid shit in life. But the key is to if you can recognize it early enough, fix the issues and push forward. And ultimately, what Tony and I have come to, the conclusion that we've come to is we are going to get divorced. It's something that I'm not happy with per se, but I do feel in conversations with her it's probably the best thing for us. I feel since it's basically laid out of like, hey, you're getting divorced. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen. We got to sell the house. We got to figure out a few things. But the fact that she's coming to me and she's saying like, hey, I want to do this as amicable as possible. I don't want to fight. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. We're friends. Let's stay friends. And that to me means more to me than anything. Yeah. And I think that was probably a bigger part of what was eating me up altogether was I was like, I spent 10 years with this woman, and she is my best friend. You know what I mean? Like, we don't talk every single day like we used to because, you know, when you live with someone, they're there. You see them all the time. But that's the one thing. Tony and I never fought in the 10 years we were together. We've had disagreements, but we never fought. I never said ill words to her. I never talked down to her and called her names or any of that. And she never did to me. We were always supportive of each other. And we still are to this day. And, you know, I feel like she is one of the most supportive people to me personally in my life, even to this moment. Like, she's even texted me yesterday and was like, hey, I saw this house. Like, this would be perfect for you. Take a look at it and stuff. Like, dude, if she didn't give a shit about me, she wouldn't do that. Yep. You know, when in that time when we were split, I got the flu and I was out of work for days, and she wasn't living with me at the moment. She came to the house with all this stuff, you know, like soup and cough medicine and all this different stuff, and was like, here, you know, whatever you need, boom. Like, it goes to show the type of person that she is as well in all of this, that like she gives a damn about me personally. And even though something shitty has happened between us, we recognize that like we care about each other enough that we want to stay friends through all of this. So it's a matter of we're going to sell the house. We're going to work together to make sure that both of us are happy. We're going to do the best that we can to make sure we're both walking away happy and fine. And then, because there's so many stories of a divorce that happens and they hate each other and they fight and I'm like, Tony, I don't want that. And she's like, I don't want that either. And she's like, I just want to be friends with you beyond all this. And I'm like, I agree. And, you know, and at the time I was saying like, I got ideas for videos that I wanted to do with you. Like, I wanted to bring her into what we were doing. Right. And make her part of the video series and stuff that I was doing. And then she had said to me, like, I'm still willing to come do videos wherever you land. You know, obviously if I moved to North Carolina, that wasn't going to happen, but that's off the table now and I'll be in New Jersey. So she's like, and then I had come to her and I had said like, well, how about, I always wanted to do a podcast with you. That's the thing. I always wanted to do these things with her, but there was a fear, and I don't know why, this fear to just go ask her, to be like, hey, man, would you do a weekly podcast with me? Like, I'm doing this with all these people, these strangers on the internet, to steal your word, but why am I not doing this with my wife? Like, this would be a way for us to spend an hour a week together in a serious sit-down, kind of getting to know each other.
Just like put everything else aside for a second.
Yeah, and
that's why I think people should just do it. Because I mean, I did Nerdflix and Chill with Gary, not exactly the same thing. Yeah. But I missed the hell out of that guy. I never talked to him anymore. But we had like that time to like together to sit down and chat. And what more important way to, or more important person to do that with? So
in the grand scheme of things, what's coming out of all this is when I do finally come back, Tony and I told you this last week, but Tony and I are actually going to do a podcast together.
Awesome.
And I don't want to talk about the concept or the names or anything like that, but like, she was like, I would love that. And I was like, I would love it too. And I went and I bought her the webcam we all use, and then I bought her a blue microphone. You know what I mean? So this way, when the time goes, she's set, ready to go. Yeah. And she's going to set herself up with a little corner in her bedroom where she can like have it all set up like you have, like Toby has, like I had, and then we're going to go. And it'll be a weekly show that we're going to do every single week, and it's a way for me to still have that connection with her and spend some time with her and like just get to, you know, hang out with my friend, you know, and because I don't want to, thick and thin, I don't want to lose that relationship, you know what I mean? And like so much so that like I care about her so damn much that like she said to me when she wanted a divorce, my first words were, well, we don't have to get divorced. We can stay married for 20 years if you want to stay married for 20 years. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, anytime you want out, we'll get out. But, like, are you okay with health benefits? Like, right. Because right now I cover her health benefits through work. And I'm like, your work doesn't offer it. So are you okay? And, you know, like, you do have to go to the doctor. You do need to get prescriptions and things like that. And, like, I don't want to leave you in the lurch. So, in fact, like, I even did say to her jokingly, but, like, seriously at the same time, like, I'm not signing any papers until you show me you have health care. Like, I'm not letting you put yourself in a bad situation because I give a damn about you. And I'm not against the divorce. I'm not against, if that's what you want, I'm not going to hold you hostage, but at the same time, I want you to be okay. Yeah. And I want you to be safe and healthy and all that stuff. So I'm just happy. And I think that's why, like, a weight's lifted, is because I look at it and I go, me and her are probably going to come out to be better friends than any of that. She made the comment the one day. She was like, whenever you get a girlfriend, I would like to be friends with your girlfriend. And I was like, it ain't going to happen.
Famous last words, man.
But I'm like, I don't want no girls, man. I'm going back to, like, when I was a little kid. Like, girls got cooties and stuff. Like,
yeah, I don't want you to have a girlfriend either, Bobby. Like, you're mine now. Like, now
But honestly, like, I just feel like, you know, like I said, I feel like a weight's been lifted. I feel like there's the light at the end of the tunnel.
There's exactly. You have a path. I mean, there's been so many months. There's just like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and now it's a matter of
for that.
The matter is I know, like, I can see it. It's a matter of getting there.
Yeah. And part of it is that it's exciting too. Like, part of the path is like not super exciting. Divorce is never exciting. But the silver lining is like, okay, well, if I got to do that terrible thing, if I have to experience this, at least I can dedicate what I want to all the YouTube and going to E3 with Jules and everything else. Like, you've got your plan for your new house and the studios and everything like that. Like, I don't know if you want to get into.
Well, okay, so the game plan is, and that's the thing, like, I'm looking for a place that's 3-bedroom. Yeah. Because when the time goes and I'm back, I am turning 2 rooms into studios, full studios. One will be for podcasting and streaming, and the other room will be for video content. I even went as far as to find soundproofing styrofoam.
Yeah, man.
And I'm going to soundproof the podcast room. 3 walls will be red and black.
Yeah,
styrofoam.
I want to do that so bad. That's one thing I don't have sign off on, though.
And then the wall behind me will be probably red, like Nintendo red, and then have like my amiibo behind me, and I'm going back to, you know, basically getting the thing to be. And then my studio, that I record in will have a green screen wall. We'll have another wall. Like, I'll have different walls all around. And then my living room will be like my chill out gaming room. And that's going to be the room where I have the 2 TVs side by side. Because I don't ever want a room that doesn't have that. I don't ever want a place that doesn't have that. Because that's the thing. Like, so when she left me, I was in my misery and I didn't want to podcast. I didn't want to do nothing. And I sat downstairs. Well, I happened to catch the flu like a week after she left me. And I sat downstairs in my chair and I was playing my Switch on one TV and Netflix or YouTube was on the other TV playing. And I was like, this is heaven. It's kind of amazing. Like, this, it's amazing. And I was like, amazing. I want this forever. Yes, amazing. I want this forever. So, so that's the gameplay. My living room will have that now. My living room will be that with the idea to buy 2 consoles for both TVs. But the other exciting thing about that is the couch will be a pull-out couch, an invitation to anybody that's, that podcasts with me or records with me is more than welcome to come, and we're going to do some content that's together. Like,
you need to keep me, like, let me know if this house that a couple of these offers or whatever, how everything is going. You need to give me as much notice as you can, because if there's any chance that I can come help you set things up, like move things and like put things into place and put up the sound, and then we finish and then record a little something.
Ooh,
that gets me very excited.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun, man.
Well, I want to help. I want to be there for you. I want to do whatever possible.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I want to see you glowing on the other side of this. And
I will.
I know you will. But it'd be pretty sweet just to have some sweet hangs over a couple days. Eat some pizza, play some Switch, set up a 3-room studio.
I don't eat pizza no more, man.
Oh, fair enough. Actually, yes, is it Atkins? Is it legit Atkins diet?
Atkins diet, yes, legit, yeah. So I'm down a little over 20 pounds right now.
Good for you, dude.
And I've been busting. Dude, I tell you what, like, this shirt is really loose on me. My pants, I was telling my mom earlier, my mom's like, you need to go get new pants. And I was like, she's like, your crotch is down to where your knees are, because the pants are baggy and they're falling. I was like, well, that's just because I got a lot of junk in the down there.
You said that to your mom?
Yeah, she's like, you're such a pig. But no, I was like, I went to Walmart this morning, right? Because I went to go buy this Splatoon controller. Yeah. And I'm carrying my wallet in my hand, because when I put my wallet in my back pocket, it pulls my pants down.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, this is insane.
Does that feel good, though? Like, it just sort of, like, accelerates the whole process of, like, man. I'm doing good. I should keep doing this thing.
This is the crazy thing. So, for those that don't know, Atkins is no carbs.
Yeah.
Very small carbs. You can have and I'm talking, like, 1 gram, 2 grams.
As an Italian, you, like, even still live. I feel like if you go 3 days without carbs, Italians just, like, curl up and just, like, keel over.
It's not easy. But the crazy thing is this. So, I've been eating steak, chicken, sausage, like all these different things, meats wise. And then vegetables, like eating a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. Salads for lunch every day. Breakfast, my cousin she cooks me eggs every single morning. So I eat eggs with either bacon or pork roll or sausage or whatever. They give me cheese stick and pepperoni for a snack during the day. But like, the crazy thing is, Sean, and I used to go through cake and candy like it was going out of style. I was telling my mom a story yesterday. I would go on Sunday mornings. I would go to the local store and I buy 2 boxes of these donuts, and I bring them home. And there's like 8 donuts in each box, and I would just kill them. And Tony would come downstairs and get like 1 or 2 out of the boxes, and I would eat them all. And like, I've had zero craving for any sweets at all. The only thing I miss in all of this is pizza. That's the only thing I'm missing. So I had made a promise to myself that if I lose at least 5 pounds a month, that one night I'll get myself pizza and have pizza.
Dude, I love that a lot. I really like that promise to yourself. It's a little reward. That's a good reward, man.
Yeah. So my goal was, the reason why and this is the truth, this is why I started Atkins. So I started it because my cousin was on it, and she lost 60 pounds in a few months
That's
or whatever
nuts,
it was.
man.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. And so
that's a grade 6 kid.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Do they weigh 60 pounds? What's a pound? How many kilograms is that?
I don't know. I don't know that.
I don't
stuff.
do kilograms at all. I don't know.
I'm American. We have the real numbers and
stuff. You guys
stuff.
speak American.
But, yeah, exactly. So, so the thing is like my fear was going to E3.
Right.
My fear was flying, being too heavy, too big, not too heavy, too big, and then just like, yeah, you got to get a second seat.
When was the last time you've flown anywhere?
Been a couple years.
Yeah.
But the thing was when Tony and I flew, we always flew on this one airline with big seats. It was almost like a first class, but it wasn't. It was always like $80 to $100 more for these tickets.
Right.
So we always flew in those, partly because her anxiety. She would want to be just with me in the aisle. She wouldn't want nobody else in the aisle. So typically you have a row with 3 seats. This is just 2 seats, and they're just wider and bigger. So it worked out. It was me. I was comfortable. I was good to go. And her, just me and her on the seat, and she could hang on to me and all that stuff and didn't feel the pressure of like, oh, this person sitting next to me looking at me like I'm a lunatic because I'm freaking out. So worked out that that company flies to California from Philadelphia. So I'm actually I did get the big seats, but still that's the fear of like, what am I going to do here? Yeah. So my game plan was I wanted to drop 50 pounds before E3. And I'm almost halfway there already. And it's like E3's a month away. And I'm like, even if I get 40 or 50, I mean, even 40 is astonishing. Yeah, like that's amazing.
Crazy. Well, you're already feeling it. That's the thing, is you're already feeling the difference in your clothes and how you feel, like the energy. You get up and you're like, oh, I'm a little like, I don't know, it's something like, because I've lost 20 pounds before and like the spring in your step is different.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
man. Just like, oh, I can actually just keep going. Like, walking isn't just awful.
Yeah.
So I'm
happy
for you, man.
Most diets, I feel like I'm missing out. Like, I was telling Miguel yesterday, because me and Miguel went to lunch. We went to Chili's. I went in, I got steak, shrimp, broccoli. And I was like,
what else
I feel satisfied. Yep. Like, I'm eating. I feel great. I said, normally I go in there and be like, I can't eat that because I don't have the points for that. I don't have the points for that. What am I going to do? Now I just got to make sure my sizes aren't huge. And it's like, 6 ounces of meat. So, vegetables you can eat pretty much what you want. Eat till you're satisfied, and you get up and go. And that's what – so it's a totally different mindset. But it's something that I could feel – like, my biggest fear previously, if I was on Weight Watchers and stuff, is like, man, I'm going to California. How the hell am I going to stay on this diet for a week?
Yeah.
And now it's like, dude, that's a no-brainer. That's easy. Go in morning, get some scrambled eggs, get some meat, good to go. And plus, dude, I'm not hungry till later in the day anymore now. So I say to my mom, I'll grab a couple protein bars, throw them in my bag, and then when me and Jules are out, if I'm hungry, I can just grab a protein bar or whatever and chow down on that and drink water and stuff, and I'll be good to go.
So it's not even sugar? Like, it's just carbs that are kind of
sugar, yeah.
Yeah,
so
but like you limit sugar, but like it's not like no sugar. I've seen some like no sugar diets. It's like
it's pretty close to no sugar. I basically eliminated sugar from my coffee.
Yeah.
I use sugar-free creamer now in my coffee. I don't use any sugar in my coffee or Splenda or any of that. I don't mess with any sweetener at all.
I'm down to 2 sweeteners in my coffee, by the way.
I don't use any sweeteners anymore. I got rid of the sweeteners years ago.
I think I'll be getting into a black coffee pretty soon.
It was starting to hurt my head, and I was attributing it to the sweeteners.
Yeah,
because when I quit the sweeteners, the headache started going away. So I said that's enough of that, and I went to raw sugar, and now I'm only going to use raw sugar. I'm done with all of it. So
good for you.
Yeah, I feel better. I feel a lot better.
So we should tell people right now that, when you get your studio set up, if we run Nintendo, Bobby will be back. That's confirmed.
Listen, it's not confirmed. Don't make me.
I know.
Don't make me.
I'm trying to remember.
You're trying to make me guilt me into it. Like,
I'm trying to remember.
Said it, and then
exactly.
He turns back on me.
There's been a few times where I've said things like just 5 or 6 or whatever times I just start to like will things into existence, and this is gonna be one of those things. People enjoyed that episode, Bobby. I enjoyed it.
Hey man, there's a lot of people that enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's weird because we just jumped back in the rhythm and started.
But it's almost like me and you needed a break too. Like there was a reason like that we were like, okay, Joseph can come into if we're entertained, because like I think like we were kind of like
I feel like, and this is the truth, I feel like the live show screwed us up. I really do. And it was weird because we wanted the live shows because it was a Patreon thing. We felt like we're doing something we're giving something back to the people, but I really feel like it put an undue pressure, and it changed. Like, typical me would have had the chat up, paying attention, but because I didn't have my setup, the chat was down here on the table down here, and I didn't see it.
Yep.
I'd look down occasionally at it, but it wasn't like in my face, so I didn't acknowledge the chat as much, and that's what to me felt natural because we were just flowing the way we always did. So I don't know. I feel like that was a big hindrance as well because we weren't ready for live and we didn't know how to handle
Well,
it.
and I know you said that, and I'll throw this back before. And I think because there's two sides of it. There's obviously like that changed it, and maybe that wasn't sustainable. But at the time, it had breathed new life into it. Like me talking to the patrons at the beginning, we are live, and I would just go nuts. And you're like, "What is this kid doing? I hate this guy so much." And it was just different. It was just different. I think that there was probably like a balance that could have been found between like the non-interactive podcast versus like the fully interactive chat, and maybe somewhere in there. And I almost like, again, there's a lot of things that we talked about today, Bobby, that very pointed for me. I want to bring a lot of these topics out for a lot of our friends and a lot of people who listen, make their own content. And I want to make all of this stuff okay to talk about. Like, because I do feel like we maybe were one of the first. I wouldn't say that we're the first, but we were like, we started the whole, like, it's a benefit to go live. Like, this enhances the show. And then we all experience like what that means, but nobody's talking about what the challenges are and considering going back. Like, not that I would consider taking that away right now, but just like, I think there's just to put all that out into the open, all the things that we talked about at the start, 24/7 thinking about stuff.
Let me understand. Let me clarify this. So what I felt hurt us was we had set topics that we were to discuss. And I felt like having that wall there, that instant feedback of, no, I don't like that idea, or yes, I like that idea. It would, for me personally, it would make me say something and then try to go, oh man, they don't like it, so let me pull it back. And it was like,
instead of like fully exploring it, which was actually the whole purpose of the show, was that we wouldn't be doing like would you fire Miyamoto, I think was something we used to talk about way back in the day. And it was a yes or no question, but like, that's not the point. It's
because like Nintendo Talk Live, right? I love that show, but that show is not really a topic-based show. It's just a casual conversation. This show in particular, I think, would benefit from a live show.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, and so to me, that's where I feel like that's it. It's okay to do a live show with the topics. You can't focus on the chat. You need to spend a little bit of time with the chat and then put it away and move on. And that was the hardest part for me, learning that. So I think that is where I feel like there was, and that when I say that was the bad part of the going live, was that
live. Yeah, exactly.
Plus, you have to be there on a certain time and a certain schedule and be there on time. Sean never was. No. That's like, I don't know if you listened to NBC this week. Sam Claiborne was supposed to be there, and they went live. Oh. I truly feel like they went live because they heard our show and they were like, we're going to go live.
Yeah, probably. Because Pear talked to you for a little while. And you guys were interacting. You were supposed to be on the show. And he's like, no, we're just going to go live us instead.
Yeah, we'll just go live. And but what happened was he wasn't there on time. And they had to start the show. Yeah. And it's like, got to do what you got to do, man. The show must go on. Like, we're telling people to be here at a certain time. We can't just make them wait. So that was also a thing that, Yeah,
it's tough.
Whatever. No big deal.
Well, I can't wait for us to go live again together one day. And we'll figure out what to do with the chat. That is all. I can't even see the T. I can't see the. I'm wearing this shirt. I don't even know. I don't even know what it says. It says
I wear this T-shirt even
every day.
And
I still look.
Awesome. Oh, good God!
I just don't want to. I'm worried because I'm pulling it up very, very high, and my belly.
You're fine.
My belly's
You're
going,
fine. Trust me.
See it.
I got the belly still, but it's going away. Can I tell you a cool milestone? This is crazy. I'm probably gonna get made fun of, but I don't give a damn. Yesterday, when I went to lunch with Miguel, I sat in the booth. It's the first time in months that my stomach wasn't hitting the table.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
I actually looked down, and there was 2 inches. There was 2 inches between the table and my stomach. I looked down, and I was like, holy crap, dude, I can breathe while I'm eating. Mm-hmm. I was amazing feeling, dude.
I get it, man. I tell you, like, I notice when I'm just not comfortable in my own skin. And I'm I'm a grumpy asshole, and I just, not fun to be around. And, a couple pounds and feeling good. You look good. You seem energetic.
I'm going to get all, like, in shape and stuff. And then when Tony sees me, she's gonna be like, "Damn,
yeah,
I screwed up."
Then it's win-win. Then it's all good, man.
Then she'll go, "No, he's still an asshole."
Well, one of these days, I hope that you just sneak out just a couple well, I can't wait to see what you guys are doing for E3. First of all, I know you got some plans for pumping out some content. Perhaps if
meeting
possible.
some people and all that, yeah.
Yeah, meeting people. Oh God, that's I'm super jealous. We're gonna talk again soon, though. You and I.
Well, next week.
You and I and Jules, a day from today.
Yes,
today?
I'll be back.
Yes, we're gonna be doing some E3 predictions. Bobby, your show, this is gonna air the same day. People are gonna see 2 episodes of We the GamerCast pop up. I did a crossover episode with the guys from Game Moose Podcast. Okay. So that's airing the exact same day. It's a bonus episode, completely bonus. Like the music and everything switches back and forth between We the GamerCast and Game Moose, and then Ryan takes it away. And it's a gong show. So just a little teaser. It's actually less of a prediction show, more of a preview show. So we talk a little bit about things that we know, stuff like that, and then things that we think could happen. Then you and I and Jules are going to get into some hardcore, like serious predictions. I just want to warn you. This is the first time
I get serious.
Like Mario Kart Double Dash DLC.
It was so stupid. So dumb.
But here's the thing. People are writing in, so I've got a lot of predictions from them too. But when me, you, and Jules get together, and we're going to do this for all the prediction shows, one thing that we've never done before is giving each other odds. So if you say something like, Smash is coming out on, like, whatever, pick your famous November date or whatever, and we're like, well, you get, like 2-to-1 odds or something, right? Like, it's pretty much a sure thing. But if you say something like bonkers, like, I can't even think of it. Donkey Kong is going to come out with...
The Ice Climbers is going to show up
There's a new Nintendo Switch. Or not even a new Nintendo Switch. But yeah, so something... And we'll give you like 50-to-1 odds. And if you get that, you nail it, you win. So that's what's going to set this show apart from all the other
Yeah, I know. You just don't like the points because you don't want me racking up all the points and hurting you.
I get it. And for me, too. And I don't know about you. We'll get into this next week. I just don't know what I want from E3 this year. Like, we're now like pretty far into.
Oh, I know what I want from E3. I just want one thing. I'm not going to talk about it now, but we'll talk about it this week. But I just want one thing. And that's it.
Let the hype train start up, buddy. Choo choo.
No, it's choo choo, baby. Oh.
What are you on the? Are you like an engineer on a hype train?
Did you see that? Did you see that? Yes. That was amazing. Rybo and Joe after work put together a GIF of a train coming through, smashes an Xbox car out of the way, smashed the PlayStation car out of the way, and then it's me hanging out the window like this. It says, Nintendo Guru's coming to E3 or something like that. It is so cool. I love Rybo, man.
Can I tell you something? That makes me actually excited. I'm looking at Lincoln sleeping here. He's looking all peaceful and everything, and it's hot as heck out, so he's just got like just a little t-shirt on. Yeah. And I'm thinking about him, but also I can't wait to buy him a little toy train set, and I'll like print out Bobby the Nintendo Guru. Or like maybe I'll get how much do you think? Maybe Toby could make us a custom of me, but I need a Bobimo.
That's who you know, and that's something that I gotta say I miss Toby.
I miss Toby too. I feel like he hates me.
I miss Toby. No, he don't hate you.
I don't know, man. I feel like he's grumpy towards me.
No. When's the last time we talked to him?
Like when he told us that he was leaving Vegas.
Oh, there you go. Maybe he is grumpy towards you.
I know. I don't know.
Like F this Sean Capri guy.
I know.
Talk to him this week a little bit. He's good. He's doing good. He moved houses.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I think he was trying to buy it.
Nah, it fell through. They wanted too much money.
Oh, but he sold all his amiibo.
I know, he tried.
Oh no, that's a mistake, Toby. I mean, not a mistake. Like, do what you want to do, but hopefully you're. I don't
know that he actually sold them though. I know he's packing them up, but I don't know if he actually officially sold them. But regardless, he's good. I love that guy. I miss him.
Bobby. Well, I think that is all.
That is all.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
You can find me Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus,
and at your mom's house.
And at my mom's house. And then eventually, when I get the information, I try to hit layup before, but I'll get the information out where people can get raffle tickets.
That's so awesome, man. I was just talking to them. Like, the whole reason I even know about Extra Life is because of those guys, and they just take it to the next level. The first time I ever chatted with Ray, he's like, come on up. I'm like, you don't know me.
He said he wants you to come.
I know. I want to.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. I will. You know what? Let me divulge one more thing before I go. So I contacted Lee. Because I listened to him on your show, We the GamerCast, with him and Becky, and I was like, Lee, when I come back, I want to build a computer to stream.
Oh, Yeah, so speaking of that, that's why I was thinking of like the connection between you actually doing Extra Life with them, and then also I was just talking to him, and he's got his like his gaming PC, but also his streaming PC. I still don't understand why you need two.
So
you've got like recording and then your video.
So what I'm going to do is my streaming PC.
You're moving away from Mac. This is a big deal for people who don't know.
Well, I'll still use Mac for my videos.
Yeah, but
to
still
do the editing and stuff. But as far as the streaming side of it, I will be streaming to YouTube, to Twitch, to Facebook Live.
Wow.
All at the same time.
Yep.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
And you need to show me how that goes. I don't know why I haven't done that too, but
I said to him, "This is what I want, Ray." I keep saying Ray. This is what I want, Lee. You need to start working on it and get it. So he's already putting together what he gave me a price range of where it should be to make it all come together.
God, he's the best.
He's the best.
I just want to hug him. Like I want to hug you as well. I want to hug all those guys.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hug him, and as Becky comes, I'm gonna just stiff arm
face palmer.
Back off.
I'm trying to decide if she would want to hug or not. I think
from me?
Like from any of us. Like maybe.
But
I feel like Lee would just be like open arms, man.
Me and Lee got this little love thing going on.
I know, me too. God, I love him.
And
God.
She gets jealous because me and him start to talk some stuff, and you can see her just steaming in the corner like, I'm going to hurt you, Bobby.
Well, it's funny, but you guys must have found something very unique and special, because there's usually, if you're talking to Lee about really anything, like she's right there.
Yeah.
So you guys found yourself a little...
she's awesome. She's awesome. I love Becky. She knows that, and she's great to me, too.
All right, Bobby, that is all.
Let's get at it.
Nintendo Gurus, Twitter, Instagram. YouTube.
Yeah.
Go watch some video. Just go give him a couple views. Go give him a couple likes. Let them know that you're not forgetting them. You're not forgotten.
Exactly.
Okay, Bobby, I love you.
I love you.
This was the one time that I think that I talked to Bobby, especially on this show, and we didn't get into the idea that I want to bring up right now, that none of this is here without Bobby. None of the Patreon, We the GamerCast, probably the Xbox Drive, pretty much none of it is here without him. So I want to thank Bobby for that. Thank you for your friendship. This is quite a journey we've been on, man, together. Ever since the Geek Guru wanted to be on this stupid We the GamerCast show, I was maybe four or five people into this thing. Everything was taking me way too long. My second episode took me 6 days to edit and get out the door. It was way too much. And Bobby came along and changed everything, changed the show, got me doing more podcasting. We've grown together. We've now been, obviously, we've been through a lot together, man. So thank you, Bobby, for I wasn't going to, I obviously knew the entire situation, and I'm glad that you shared all that, to be honest. I just didn't want to pry. So I think that went really, really well. As soon as he went to the places I knew things had happened, I was, all right, let's go here. So thanks, Bobby, and everybody can reach out to him at Nintendo Gurus on Twitter, and I'm sure you already have or already will. Very, very courageous to talk that openly, but I think all part of the healing process as well. There are show notes. Bobby was talking about Extra Life. Show notes are there. All the links for the Facebook and Phoenix Overdrive, everything is there. So please check that out. That is so exciting that those worlds are colliding. The music, Super Smash Brothers. How could I not? A little excited about Super Smash on coming to Switch. It is Super Smash Brothers Melee S Tier OC Remix, ocremix.org. That's where I get all the music from. Except this that you're hearing. This was some royalty-free thing that I dig. Thank you for listening, subscribing, sharing, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, all that stuff. Remember that crossover episode should be live now. Should be there. If you're too early in the day, it's not going to be there. We're agreeing to an embargo. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it's going to launch on both. Otherwise, guys, please follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri. Follow the show at We the GamerCast, the website, We the Nerdy. Remember, I do If We Ran Nintendo on Mondays. Jesse Sackins going to be my guest this week. And I do the Xbox Drive with Dave Moore, DaceSpace. Thank you to our artists, Gary Gray, Adam Leonard, our video designer, Antonio Guillen, and Dave for DaceSpace.com. Otherwise, this is episode 146 with the GamerCast, now in your ears and eyeballs. I'm going to be back next week. I hope you're there too. Now it's time for Jason. I'm just going to roll right into it. Jason.
Jason! Jason! Sean! 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 Sean, where are you? Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Jason! 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 Jason!